one happy Friday, friends! Oh, here we are. It is the new season, the Halloween season of games. 'Tis I, DM Daddy RPG, but as you can see, I have a weird name under my face, and I'm not the big screen, Jen's the big screen. What's going on? Well, on this, our 1 year to the day of rebranding, DM Daddy RPG is giving over the reins and letting DM Mommy RPG, aka JenOfThieves, aka Degeneration X, run some game. And with all that said, there are still chat redeems. You can redeem them here on Twitch. I will let DM Mommy know. And otherwise, Jen's in charge. Bits! Jen, you got bits cheered to you. From Styles.
What does that mean?
More money.
Thanks, Styles.
More money to the channel. That's what that means. All right, so real quick, Discord. If you're not part of our Discord community, come join our Discord community. We currently have open signups for what'll be season 4, the end of this year. There are 3 wonderful games planned for that. Definitely nothing bad, nothing spooky, nothing evil, or anything like that. Not with Old Gods of Appalachia, Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, or Monster of the Week Christmas special. No, nothing bad's gonna happen there at all. Let's see here. Treat myself. I'll get to that in 1 second, Ashley. Thank you. YouTube! If you're not following, subscribe to me on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Do it. Keep running those numbers higher. We need them. And of course, there's Patreon. Hey, if you'd like to really support this channel and this community and the things that we're doing, consider subscribing to us on Patreon. Patreon money all goes back to the channel, be it buying books, as many of my Hunter and Vampire players that are coming this weekend have realized as I continue to just throw books at them that they need. Merch, there's sweet swag that gets made and comes out every season. Most of that's made by JenOfThieves. And other stuff. You get things like cool frickin' chat redeems, roles in the Discord, credits in the YouTube videos, etc., etc., etc. That's all of our social media plugging. Oh, I lied. Did you like that sweet intro video? You know what time it is. Koi is your boy. Koi made that awesome Death's Door intro. If you need stuff for your streams, consider hitting up Koi. Koi can do everything from editing to making sweet intro videos to making music, etc., etc., etc. Now that's all my social plugging. And I relinquish control. My power goes to the side, goes over to the corner, or upstairs in the real world.
Yes. Well, for this game, we are going to be jumping into a system really none of us had played with before, called Don't Rest Your Head by Evil Hat Productions. They've done a couple of games, maybe 1 or 2 we've actually played here before.
What?
Maybe. The basic premise of it is you get so tired that you gain access to a special alternative world called the Mad City, and also some cool supernatural powers, in exchange for being constantly chased by nightmare creatures. Which seems fair.
So Tuesday.
Yeah, just an average day. It is very different from most of the systems we've used before. The sheet is stupid simple. There's no skills, no attributes, no health bars, no willpower. It is just 3 dice pools. Players get discipline dice pools, which are the safe dice. You start off with 3. You can't bump that up. It can go down if you're not careful, but you can't bump it up. There's exhaustion, which is just the fuel of being hella tired, which you can choose to bump up, but it's tougher to get back down. And there's madness dice, which you can always choose to temporarily bump up. It can permanently go up to. as a result of some bad times. But we'll get to that if and when it comes up. Exhaustion and madness are voluntary most of the time. So if you just want more dice, you can always add more dice. But the downside is that in addition to deciding whether you succeed or not, these dice pools also decide how you succeed or not. So say exhaustion dominates, you're a little sleepy. You succeed because you tap into that tiredness. If madness reigns, things get a little messy. If discipline reigns, you're fine. Any questions so far?
Go crazy.
You could.
What's with the coin?
Okay, did it. I have one set of dice that I roll against you. I will always tell you how many dice I'm rolling before you decide how many you want to roll. And then I will roll after you. These dice are called pain dice. And that is maybe my most favorite part.
Sounds fun.
They represent obstacles, villains, hostile beings, conflict, all of the bad stuff that you might run into. And I can generally roll as many as I want. There's rules, but it can vary. If pain dominates a roll, even if you succeed, things don't quite go as planned, and I get a coin of despair. There are despair coins and hope coins. Despair coins I spend to influence a roll you've made, to shift which pool dominates, so how your success is flavored, or to even take a success away from you. But as soon as I spend a despair coin, you get a hope coin. If you... Those can be used for several different things. If you pull up your cheat sheet, I've got all of this information on there, so
Yep.
kind of easy reference.
Mm-hmm.
You can reduce your exhaustion by 1 or uncheck a response box, which get checked if madness dominates a roll. These are all good because you get dice, but like they're bad. So you could choose to reduce that. You can swap a permanent madness for a permanent discipline dot if you start to run a little low on the discipline. Difficulty of that just depends on how low you are. And you can also add successes to your discipline pool by spending a hope coin. And 1 coin is 1 more success. The biggest, I think, alternate dimension rule in this game is that 1s, 2s, and 3s are successes. 1s, 2s, and 3s.
Okay.
4s, 5s, and 6s determine what pool dominates.
So we want to roll low.
Yeah.
You want to roll low. You want to roll low and high. High in discipline. You want to roll high in discipline, low in everything else.
Okay.
Okay.
That's gonna take some getting used to.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the thing that throws us off the most, probably. Let's see, what haven't I covered on here? Each of you have an exhaustion talent that is listed on your sheet. Why already? Why though? Each of you has an exhaustion talent and a madness talent. They are listed on your sheet. You can choose to use your exhaustion talent kind of whenever you want. There's no exact cost, but it has to apply to your talent, whatever you're trying to do. As a minor exhaustion talent use, basically that it gives you the minimum number of successes you can have in a roll. And that is just how many dice you have in your exhaustion pool. So say you have 2 in your exhaustion pool, you cannot roll less than a 2. If you roll 1, you rolled a 2. If you really want to succeed and control things, you can do the major use of your exhaustion power, which costs 1 exhaustion. You go up 1 to use it, but that makes the dice in your pool the minute, like, you just add to your successes. So if you have 2 in your exhaustion pool, you roll 3, you add that 2 on top of it. So it's a total of 5.
Okay.
Questions? That's okay. Okay.
Not yet.
Madness talent,
Oh, Chef
a
raised
lot
his hand.
easier. What's up?
That's what
okay.
you were getting to the madness talent.
Yes. Madness talent, it's both more simple and more complicated. You all have madness talent. You can use that any way you want. But the complexity and the difficulty and the challenge of how you choose to use it will determine how many madness dice you have to roll. The more madness dice you have to roll, the higher the chance that you will dominate madness and have to fight or flee and check off a box. Questions? Yes.
Do we need to try to keep our talents secret, or, I mean, is this something that we would be like trying to hide from others, or?
That's up to you. This is entirely up to you. Your exhaustion talent is something that you can play off as you're just really good at a normal thing. Most of your madness talents, you can't really get away with that. Most of them. So the madness ones are like definitely supernatural. You might freak someone out if you use it in the real world. Exhaustion, you can do whatever you want. But whether you tell other people what you can do, that is up to you. I'm gonna have everybody do a test roll real quick to make sure we sort of know what we're doing. So you're just going to click on your sheet. It comes up with 3 boxes, like the dice by the 3 boxes. The permanent ones are the only ones that you change on that first, the main sheet.
Okay.
When you click it, it'll pop up with a question, do you want to add madness dice? If you are adding madness dice, that's where you would put them.
Get wrecked, nerd.
Awesome, first of all. Okay. So for Jasper's roll,
Triple
you would have
6.
2 successes. And discipline would dominate because it has that 5 in there. For Sebastian's roll, 1 success. Discipline would dominate because that's all he rolled. And then Lewis, no successes.
I rolled so good.
So much discipline though, like a lot of it.
Exactly where I'm going again. Sorry.
It's okay. If you
What do I do?
click on, you see those like 3 little icons at the top? You just get to your sheet to pull it up.
The journal.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And then there's a little dice underneath I roll ...
Oh, okay. And I'm just.
Just test roll, click on that. You can add madness if you want to. It doesn't really matter. Because
Okay.
test.
Jasper wins. No successes.
I rolled so good, you guys.
That's me, Jasper. I win.
All right. So Amelia would have gotten 0 successes. But if we're checking to see what dominates, discipline would dominate because there's a 6 in there. I'm just gonna test roll because that's fun. We'll just throw that in there. Pain.
Pain.
Yeah.
Oh hell.
Now,
That'd
do you want high or do you want low?
Most, yeah. My rules are the same. 1s, 2s, and 3s are successes. 4s, 5s, and 6s determine strength.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yep. So you know what you're looking at.
Even Chad agrees with me. Jasper wins.
You can't trust chat.
Yes, you can.
Once again. See how green.
Chat never lies. Chat would never hurt you. Speaking of chat, redeems. Even though there's no health tracker, you can still hurt and heal. I expect these skilled role players to remember if they are hurt and roleplay accordingly.
Oh,
Thank
clear.
you.
I will
Okay.
turn my page in my notebook.
Just because there's no health bars, you can die. You get real hurt.
Gas.
We'd all be sad and miss you. Care packages, if you want to give someone a care, that just adds a coin to the hope pool, unless you give me a care. And then that adds it to the spare pool.
I do not like this change.
That is rude.
That seems terrible.
If I spend
Fair
them, then
is
you
fair.
get things. We all get
Fingers.
things.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, you get to fuck us up.
I take back my
interventions
power.
of someone cashing. No, too late.
Laugh again. We're playing
this
werewolf
player now.
now.
Look, the four of y'all are experienced. I was thrown into this, so
You're gonna be so good. Yeah, I
You,
know.
you signed up for this. You actively had to fill out a form.
I didn't.
Peer pressure is powerful.
My partner
a
signed me
15-minute
up.
long oopsie.
So.
No arguing with mommy,
interventions-
you're right.
Interventions will just give you an automatic success, discipline success. So
Okay.
nothing goes wrong. It's intervention.
Pierce, I'm still annoyed with you.
Be annoyed. What did I do? Chef?
Used my name.
I'm sorry. Are you the first
You know what?
person
Everybody's
named
swapping
that?
names these days.
Actually, I'm the third.
Mm. So who's a double
Any
copy?
last questions before we get started and find out what we still don't understand later?
Beals, thank you for the resub, friend. Jasper appreciates you. Holy shit, Beals!
Oh shit!
Damn, my dude.
Santa
Well-
Beals.
Thank you, Beals. I appreciate you so much. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Now I'm checking
Heck
to
yeah.
see who's a regular person that's no longer sub to me that just got gifted. Don't mind me. She.
judging. Judging.
Just like a sultan.
All right. So, premise of this game is that 20 years ago, 7 kids went missing, no sign of them ever to be found again, and nothing after that happened. Town kind of was edgy for a while, suspicions floated around, everybody was pointing fingers, but then after 5, 10, 15, then 20 years, everyone kind of forgot. Our 4 characters here were in town when this all happened, suffered losses, friends, family, the joys of trick-or-treating because everyone was so afraid. And now here we are, coming together again. Who, up to this point, would have had the chance to check the news or the radio or phone?
I might have.
Always listening to something.
Okay.
I might have been able to hear it in the car, like on the way home from work or whatever.
Awesome. Noted. All right, let's introduce ourselves and then get going. We'll start with the newest member.
No.
Yes, please dive in. Dive in, my love.
One though.
Tell us just a little about your character, your name, maybe who you lost, if you remember. If not, I remember.
I actually have it on a notepad so that I wouldn't forget.
Heck yeah, well then go ahead. No reason to delay. Who are you, Amelia?
Okay, well, obviously, my name is Amelia. My older sister went missing believe her name was Emily. Yeah. Before that, it was just my dad, Emily, and myself. After Emily went missing, kind of strained with the dad issue, and I left town as quickly as possible to pursue a doctorate, which is almost done, in the occult and archaeology. So a history doctorate. I'm a big bookworm. I love food and comfy clothes.
Same. Heck yeah. All right. Jasper, who are you?
Hi, I'm Jasper. I don't know how I got back to town, but I'm really happy that I'm here. And I'm just really excited to reconnect with old friends. Ever since my brother disappeared, it's been a little hard, but that's okay. We're home now.
Short and sweet. Awesome. Lewis. Character Lewis.
Okay.
Yes. Lewis is that guy who never really leaves his hometown, never really left his hometown, but still ends up doing pretty all right for himself. The year of the incident, he was supposed to be finally going trick-or-treating unsupervised, and instead with his older sister, who is the person that he lost. He always had a lot of questions, and as time went on and questions just stopped being even acknowledged and sometimes shouted down, he sort of just kind of turned those questions more inside and just sought to figure things out by seeing how they work. He ends up going to a community college, getting himself a trade. He is an electrician, and he has his own business just doing small town repairs on electronic devices, sound systems, TVs, things like that that you can fix. And spends a lot of his time outside in the shed, just kind of working on things.
Good for you, Lewis.
Awesome. All right. And lastly, we got Sebastian.
I'm Sebastian. Most people call me Trip. But yeah, I lost my older brother on the night of the incident in question, and I swear to God, I think that it feels like he never left, because no matter what I do, my parents believe that he would have done it better, or faster, or more right. And as such, I've been living in the shadow of a ghost. So I'm trying to find something that's mine, something that's genuinely mine, and failing.
Fun crowd. We also will be joined by a fifth who is missing today. His name is Marcus, but you guys would know about him. His little sister was one of the ones that disappeared. For a while, there were some rumors that maybe he had something to do with it, but they were just rumors. No real proof. He was just kind of a loner, kept to himself, still does these days. He works at the video store. Between that and occasionally spending some time at a bar, there's not really much to be said or seen about him. Except that anyone who has had a chance to check the news this morning will hear that Marcus is missing. Whatever media outlet you use, basically the details are local man, Marcus Bennett, was reported missing from his Wisteria home this evening after failing to report to work for multiple shifts. Police entered his home for the wellness check but found no signs of Marcus, nor signs of foul play. His keys, wallet, car were all found completely undisturbed. And you, citizens of Wisteria, are encouraged to contact the police if you have any information about his disappearance.
Mommy,
What?
I'd like to call the police.
You'd like to call the police?
Uh-huh. Well, the thing said
Okay.
if there's any information to call them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jasper does what he's told.
Okay. Then we'll start with you. How are you?
I'm gonna go into some store, like I'm guessing Wisteria is one of those like small town vibe up north, kind of the fall leaf change is beautiful, so on, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna go into the general store and pick up their phone, their landline.
Okay. Wisteria Police Department.
I have information about the missing Marcus Bennett.
What is your name, sir?
He's in the sleepy place. Click.
Okay. So you're in the general store right now, yeah?
Huh?
Okay. As you look around, there's no one else there. No clerk, no customers, nobody else.
Gum. Pocket.
Nobody stops you.
Turn and leave.
When you open the door to leave, you find yourself standing at the edge of a very long hallway. It's dark.
Oh no.
There are doors lining either side. And you hear off to your right kind of like a clicking sound.
Hi.
No answer. Just kind of like a rubbing and a tapping off to the side. You probably, once your eyes adjust to the darkness, you might recognize this hallway. You spent a long time.
No, I was
In
just
this
home.
hallway.
Why am I here? Guard friend. Guard friend, I'm out of my cell again.
A door kind of off in the distance. You hear it opening and shutting with a very loud thud.
Well, you don't have to be angry about it. You're gonna wake everyone up.
But- Footsteps shuffling toward you. When he rounds the corner, you recognize your favorite orderly.
Yeah.
Except there's something weird about him.
No.
His smile's too wide. His skin's a little too pale.
I try to smile off.
The closer
with
you
him.
get, he smiles wider.
Nobody else smiles to Jasper.
Teeth kind of one strip, like there's not spaces in between them. It's very puppet-like. And as he kind of like drags his feet across the floor, you notice there's strings holding him up. There's one foot, another foot.
You've gone full Pinocchio on us.
Big old smile. He just kind of nods at you.
Am I your Jiminy?
He just nods again. Like it's the only thing he can really do.
Awesome. I'm your conscience. Open up the other doors.
He stops. Smiles impossibly wide, like the sound of his jaw cracking as it opens up just to prove how happy he is. And you hear a chorus of clicks from directly behind you, that long hallway.
But behind me is the general store. Look back.
Nope. General store's gone.
Then what's behind me?
Just more of a hallway.
So am I in a
As far
doorway
as you
or
can
am I in
see-
the middle of the hallway?
You are now in the middle of a hallway with just doors as far as the eye can see going down one side and the other.
Okay.
There are those big metal doors with like the slit inside. You can peek in if you wanted to. Charts.
That'd be
Tacked
rude.
up outside of every door.
That's people's personal space and private information. That'd be rude.
Maybe. Maybe.
So where's my door? Like, where's my cell?
You would know that you were, when you were in there, toward one end. But there's not really an end to this hallway that you can see. It stretches on far farther than you remember, than is really reasonable for it to go.
I'm dreaming. Oh, yeah.
Marionette shakes his head.
Jasper nods his head.
Marionette nods his head.
All right, cool. Well,
Nothing. You're tired. It's been a while since you've slept, but that is not working like it usually does.
check my pocket for gum.
You have some gum.
Huh. Not gonna lie to you. This is different. Spits out the gum. Ew, cinnamon.
Another sound of the door opening, thudding closed. Another orderly walks out. The same orderly?
The same orderly, but another orderly.
Identical.
Okay. Just making sure.
And then a third.
There's so many of you now.
And then a fourth. Unison. Big smiles. Big nods.
We are all so happy.
And I start walking toward you. Closing the gap. They got pretty close.
He's fully convinced he's having a delusional dream. Like, I know
Hands
that
reach out.
I know out of character you're trying to impart to me that my character's in danger. My character does not think he's in danger.
That's fine. Hands reach out. You can actually see like fish hooks where the strings have been attached, but you can't really see where they go up to.
That's a good point. I haven't looked up yet.
It's just darkness up there.
Huh.
Arms reach out, they touch him, start pushing him down the hallway.
Oh, are you okay? That's why I called you. I couldn't find where I'm supposed to go.
Pushing you. Do you just start walking down the hallway? Awesome. Eye straight ahead, or are you actually looking around?
It's clearly nighttime with how dark it is. Everybody's asleep.
Okay. Then they push you pretty far. As you walk by, there seems to be like a weird breeze, and the papers on the charts rustle in a way you definitely never experienced before. You've walked this hallway so many times, you've never heard that noise before.
Are we allowed to open our windows now?
3 big smiling head shakes.
Oh,
They keep shoving you down the walkway.
Okay.
Once they get to a room that was definitely your room. You've seen this room, that dent in the door. You did that.
What? I would never. That'd be rude.
You know that door. You'd know that door anywhere. The closest place you've had to home for a very long time is behind that door.
Yay. Are they pushing me past my door?
No, they push you right to it.
Oh.
The chart beside your door, still rustling in a breeze you can't even feel.
Well, that's my stuff.
The front
so
page.
I'm gonna grab my papers because that's my stuff.
That is your stuff.
Am I able to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. Weird. Okay, maybe I'm not asleep.
You are not only able to read it once you flip past the front page, but just basic name, age, birth date stuff. It is nothing but missing children posters.
Oh.
An inch of papers, page after page, repeats on repeats. Nothing but posters.
Are they like the same amount of kids that went missing, or is it like a vast, much longer list? Like, is it like the same kids repeating?
It is the same kids repeating.
Oh, okay. I don't think that belongs in my paperwork. Takes out the inch of missing kid posters. Somebody clearly misplaced these flyers.
Big marionette smiles, big marionette head shakes. As they kind of close in around you in a semicircle to kind of box you in right against your door.
Gonna put the inch of papers in one of their mouths. And then go into my room.
Awesome. You open the door, walk inside. It's exactly as you imagined it. Exactly how it was the last time you were in there. And the second that door closes behind you, you're plunged into darkness.
Home.
Who's next?
I think Amelia should go next.
But we had a volunteer.
Okay.
I made her go first for intros, so we'll just... I'll show mercy. Lewis. As we kind of pan in... Character Lewis. As we kind of pan in on you, you were just arriving home from errands or wherever you were, wandering into your shed to work on a project you've been working on. Yeah?
Yep.
Awesome. You open the door. Nothing weird stands out. You've got the big workbench all across the center, shelves of scraps and salvaged parts lining each side of the walls, rack of tools. You've got the receiver open in pieces on the bench where you were set up to solder the motherboard or whatever fancy techno thing you're doing with that. What's the first thing you do when you get in there?
Head over to... Yeah, I got some sort of sound system in here. Just turn on an internet radio station. Get some good old thinking music.
Awesome. You get normal music for a while, just long enough to get you settled into whatever project step you were going into. And then it kind of flips. And all you hear again is the news report. Local man, Marcus Bennett, reported missing from his Wisteria home.
I hope he's all right. Time is it? Oh, huh. Wait, that music should have started back up by now.
It goes quiet for a minute, a little bit of static, and then the same news report starts up again. You'll notice, for a second, the receiver you're working on, the lights on them, blink on, which shouldn't be possible.
Hands off.
Blink on, blink back off. Blink on.
Make sure it's not plugged up.
Not plugged up. It shouldn't work.
Mm-mm.
But here it is.
Hit that power button a couple times.
Blink back off. Behind you, there's a shift and a whir.
Oop. Hello? Am I talking to?
Not really a lot of places anyone could hide, but it definitely sounds like maybe something turned on from really a stretch of shelving that shouldn't be plugged in.
Is it like, say, a chest high one, or like up above where I need like a step ladder or something to look at it?
It's like one of those like 3-tier like wire shelves. So depending on, I mean, you work in this area a lot. Would you need a step ladder to get to anything?
I mean, you got to make the most use of your space you got. So
Sure.
there's a couple things that'll be up there. Things I don't constantly use, but things that are good to have.
Yeah. After
Scan
another
around.
second,
Oh,
you hear another shift. It's plasticky, maybe a little papery. And after you study it for a little while, you realize that the lights on this printer, this old printer, this printer that hasn't worked in easily a decade, the lights on that are on. And it's starting to warm up. As the news
there's no
report
way
repeats
that
again.
works.
After that, like, long, drawn out, boot up sound from an old printer, it starts spitting out papers. First blank, and then it starts to print. It's something you've seen before, you've thought about before. You think about probably more than you really should now. It's those missing posters. All over again. Spewing from this printer that hasn't worked in a decade, isn't plugged in, and doesn't even seem to have a source of paper feeding into it.
Start picking these missing child posters up and trying to make sure, like, see if these are real, or see if this is it. I've lost it. Just ain't. Just staring at the printer as it's still printing.
It's still printing, and it's printing faster and faster, somehow spitting out 2-3 sheets at a time until there's just like a puddle of papers at your feet that seem to have come from nowhere.
Mm.
And as you're staring at that, you hear and kind of feel this click from all around you.
Door.
And as you head toward the door, the walls. It doesn't happen quickly, but the walls seem to maybe be closing in on you, literally. After a second, you can hear the shelves start to skid on the ground.
Forcing that door. It's mine. I'll break it and I'll fix it later.
You go for the door you came in, but it is stuck. Not only is it stuck, after you kind of stared at it for a little while, you realize that it's not even a door. There's not an opening there.
No. This makes sense. No. I sleep. I shouldn't be asleep. I was driving. Oh, nope. Window. Going for the window.
Window, how big is the window in your shed? You said shed, but...
Oh yeah, it is a vent window that should the whole thing be removed, the person can get through it, but...
Okay. I'm going to actually, because you are under some stress, I'm going to have you roll to see if you can get that open. I'm just going to roll 1 dice. So if you just want to roll your discipline, you can. If you want to add a voluntary exhaustion, you can. If you want to add some temporary madness, you can. That's up to you. But I'm just rolling 1.
We're gonna stick. You know what? We're gonna stretch our legs. We're gonna try to add an exhaustion. So where it says I roll under permanent exhaustion, I just roll 1.
Yep, you put 1 under permanent exhaustion, and that will stick around until you actually work to get rid of it later.
Okie dokie. Permanent up. Roll that. Extra madness. 9. No, I'm not gonna roll any extra. Submit.
All right. So you got 1 success. But discipline is dominating. So let's see what we got here. 1 success. After some amount of effort, and it seems much harder than it probably should be. You put your full weight behind it. That vent, the sealant around it finally pops off, and you're able to get it open.
That's my best friend.
And we gonna take a look back at the room to see if I'm not hallucinating and just kind of I'm all hopped up on solvent fumes.
Those walls are still closing in, shelves half toppling over onto each other. And as you finally squeeze and shimmy your way out of that little tiny window, you fall into darkness.
Welcome to the
What
void.
fun.
Come scream with me.
Who is next?
Pumpkin cookie.
I have gum. Do you want gum?
All right. Sebastian. So, you were just getting home after what sounds like kind of a failed date. Yeah?
It could have gone better.
Could have gone better.
We just
How,
we were not.
Did she fall from heaven? Because your name's Trip?
No.
just getting home. Do you live in an apartment or a house?
I'm fortunate enough to live in a small home, a small single family house.
Awesome. How did you meet this not so good date?
Oh, the way most would expect, considering me. I've seen her at the bookstore once or twice when I was researching whatever hobby struck my fancy that week, but it wasn't until I used an app it kind of makes it easier since breaking the ice is so hard. I came up with a intro. I sent a little frisbee, and then I sent a little dog, and I said, "Hey, get back here." I named the dog Arctica because that's the name of the world's biggest icebreaker.
That's so much. Perfect. Date went, like you said, date went fine, but you kind of got the impression she might have been disappointed.
I realized that.
So you open the door. You said it yourself. You open the door, walk inside, ready for your microwave brownie snack and a good book friend.
I made brownies yesterday. I was gonna microwave one. I realized I don't have any ice cream, otherwise I would have got some. I should have gotten some at the store, but I forgot.
So what do you do second you get inside?
Close the door behind me, drop my key, put my keys on the little thingy hook, take off my jacket and my tie. So I wore my good tie, my lucky tie. It didn't help. I hang those up on the back of a chair and trudge over to my refrigerator, open it, grab a Gatorade or something, and throw a...
The second you open the door to your fridge, you kind of pause. Because something's suddenly weird. The inside of that fridge is full of nothing but snacks. There's Capri Suns. There's pies. There's cakes. There's an entire shelf of soda. None of this you remember buying.
I looked down at my phone, trying to see whether or not I got a text from my mother saying that she came by and surprised me. I doubt I did.
Nope.
No. So now I'm just genuinely confused and somewhat paranoid. I walk over and check my locks to make sure that they are locking the way they're supposed to, because I know I locked them before I left. I look around to see if my windows are still closed and nothing's broken or anything. I'd love to think a friend came by and did this, but we both know they didn't.
Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. The door locks just fine. It clicks in that quiet, comforting way. Windows are all closed, blinds are all drawn, curtains are all closed. Nothing too weird. Except as you kind of wander around, just the slightest bit of panic creeping in. It smells different. It smells sweet.
I close the refrigerator door, take a deep breath, and open it again to see whether or not I was just imagining things.
Everything is the same.
Still chock full.
Still chock full of just the worst road snacks your parents would never let you have.
No, they wouldn't. Mom raised us on caffeine-free Diet Mountain Dew. She wanted us to watch our weight.
That monster.
Diet Coke was actually considered something of a special treat at one point. Only after we mowed the yard. So I look around, I flip a few lights on, and I look down. I'm in my kitchen. I look. Is there anything weird in my living room area?
Nothing weird, but everything seems like it maybe lacks a little bit of detail. The harder you stare at it, but you are very tired.
What else is new? Between work and trying to find something, anything to make this worthwhile. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life anymore. I walk into probably what I would consider the heart of my home, my library, which is like basically everywhere that's not covered by everywhere that's not covering a window or a door. Bookshelves, books on pretty much every topic from, alchemy to volcanology. Fantasy, whatever happened to take my interest that week. Something to try to see if maybe, just maybe, this would spark the joy I need to move forward and find my own thing. But so far, I'm just really knowledgeable about a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't seem to matter anymore.
And considering how familiar you are with this space, one thing would strike you immediately.
It still smells wrong.
It smells so sweet. And almost worse than that, the shelves and shelves of books, the mountain of literature. There is not a title on a single book.
I sort of start rubbing my eyes because I'm very sure that if I close my eyes, I could point to the end of each shelf and tell exactly what book should be there and what order it should be in. Other than the lack of titles, does everything still seem to be somewhat in the same place?
They're the right size, the right shape, the right color. But again, it just seems like it's lacking detail.
Okay. And is this smell, when we say sweet, are we talking like cotton candy sweet? Are we talking like something's dead and rotting kind of sickly sweet?
No, we're talking
Are we
sweet, like sugar. It smells like sugar.
Hot sugar?
Not hot sugar. Just opening the door to a bakery, just the air that floats out. That is what the inside of your house smells like.
Sorry, I just had a flashback to school. Okay, I walk over, close my eyes, and reach out and grab a book at random, as if I don't know that it's supposed to be a copy of Encounter with Tiber by Buzz Aldrin. And I look at the cover because it's a paperback. I'm not expecting it should still have, like,
There's not a picture. There's nothing in the... It should be a paperback, but it's not. The outside of it, when you pick it up, you immediately know that's hard. It shouldn't be. It should bend, but it doesn't.
That's a hard... So this is a hard... Does it have the texture of like a normal hardback, or does it feel like it's got some sort of like maybe leather covering or anything?
It is very smooth and kind of cool to the touch.
All right, I'm half convinced that someone's been in here and this is some sort of deranged prank. But I flip open to a random page in what should be an amazing book, and I'm guessing I know what I find. There we go. I'll put money
after page. missing posters as DM Daddy
And
freaks the
of course,
shit
I
out.
recognize my brother in this.
All 7 faces, one after the other, page after page.
Do any of the details change? Like, do the dates missing or anything change, or is it still the same thing, just repeated?
Same thing, repeated page after page after page.
This has got to be the weirdest stream I've been in a while. I set
about to
that
get
book
weirder.
down. Promises. I set that book down, reach over and grab a book that I know for a fact should be a hardback reference book. This book should be like the DSM-5 or the DSV-5. DSM. I was right the first time.
Yeah.
Me and this
So
book
it's-
do not get along.
As you kind of like reach over, not really thinking about it at the second, you're just reaching for the book, but you see that there is some kind of residue on your hand. It's a little sticky, a little slippery.
Ugh.
What? Okay, the lights would be on in this room, so what color is it?
It's kind of that sort of gray-white color that the book you were holding was.
Gray white. I put it down, walk back into my kitchen to get a paper towel to wipe my hands off. And while I'm in the kitchen, I look around to see if anything else has changed. You know, like is my glassware still there?
There's still cups and bowls. Anywhere there used to be food, though, it's like candy and snack cakes. Like an 8-year-old broke in and redid all of your shopping. And as you're standing there in the kitchen,
I don't even know who could have done this.
as you're standing there, the light on the oven pops on. Good old preheat.
Hey. I know I didn't set the timer to turn anything on today. So as I'm wiping my hands, I walk over and grab a side towel and sort of use that to open the oven. Just a bit, like leaning back, because half of me thinks there might be like some sort of like raccoon or something in here. And I
Nothing in
open
the
it up
oven,
and peek
but
inside.
nothing in the oven but a gentle, very warm breeze.
Like warmer than it should have been if it just turned on.
Warmer than it should have been.
Last thing I need. I pull out my cell phone and dial the non-emergency number for the police.
Okay. After about 2 rings, it pauses, like it picks up. And then all you hear is that news story about Marcus going missing. Matt, are there pictures on Twitch right now?
Nope.
I sort of scroll to see if, like, did I dial the wrong number?
Oh, they're back.
Hang up and just... Great. Somehow I have a merry prankster who decided to break into my house without a way for me to tell it. ruin the one thing that I actually hold close in this world and completely screw with everything that... Of course. You know what? Screw it. Screw it. Screw it.
As you think, screw it, you might actually notice man, it's a little warm in here. That breeze from the oven, it shouldn't still be hanging around in the air, but it is.
I glanced over to make sure the oven is closed.
Oh, it's closed.
As I walk down the hall, I check the thermostat to see what it's set at, and then lower it like 2 degrees just to sort of combat the warmth that's here, because
the second you touch the thermostat, it comes off into your hand. Nothing behind it, like there were no wires attached to it, like it was just pasted to the wall.
I turn it over and like...
As you turn it, that beigey old plastic color, it's kind of starting to smear onto your fingertips as it gets warmer and warmer.
I put that on my countertop, walk into my bathroom and get a towel. So like wipe my hands off and just try to figure out First off, I'm running in my head, who the hell have I annoyed at all, much less enough to piss me, to come in here and start screwing with me. Although I will admit, this is a very thorough screwing with me.
As you grab the towel, you kind of grab onto it and try to rub it into your palms. It cracks into several pieces and just kind of falls to the floor. And as you look down, you notice you've been making footsteps on the floor. Just the faintest of footsteps, but everywhere your feet went, there's like an imprint. As it gets hotter.
I can't deal with this right now. I no.
The shower curtain clatters to the floor, breaking in half. Leaving
There's no one in my shower.
No one in the shower. But now there is like divots along the wall as it fell, deep gouges in the wall. And you can kind of see whatever beneath it is not that generic home beige. Brown.
A particular shade of brown, one assumes.
Mm-hmm.
You really did pick a fantastic soundtrack for this. Okay. So I'm running on the assumption that at this point, the sense of sweetness has sort of gotten a bit more specific.
Mm-hmm. The longer you stand there, the heavier it gets. And in that tiny bathroom, as the heat continues to rise, that smell gets thicker and thicker.
All right. I don't know what the hell is going on right now, but clearly I am delusional in some way, shape, or form. I walk from my front door, grab my keys, unlock my door, and walk outside. Because clearly something is going on, and either somebody slipped me something on what was automatically a bad date, or I've finally gone around the bend like Mom said I would.
It's kind of difficult to get to the door. It feels like your feet are sinking into your carpet as you go. That suction that almost leaves your shoes behind.
Knew I should have.
But you make it. You make it. You whip the door open, walk on out, and suddenly you're in darkness. You've run out of time, Amelia. It is your turn now.
Oh shit, Laurel's voice is coming out.
No.
Flip it now.
Mommy's not allowed to be British, no.
Hey. Don't threaten me with it.
All right, so Amelia, your father recently passed, yes?
Yes.
And you were in town just kind of taking care of the estate, giving the house like a once over, trying to sort things out, as now you are the only child to do this. When you get there, do you just immediately go inside?
No, I kind of sit in the driveway, pause the lecture that I'd been listening to on the drive down. And I'm trying to still decide whether I should just get a motel and deal with this tomorrow or go in. So I've kind of just been sitting there in the silent car as the engine ticks down.
Your memories in this house, as maybe conflicted as they might have been, they were always kind of vibrant. But as you sit there in the car, the house that you're looking at is so quiet and empty, it's sort of off-putting. It's dark in a way it's never felt before. It's solid in a way it's never felt before. Your dad was a little bit older, so, the landscaping wasn't quite what you remember. The grass is a little overgrown. The bushes that were once well trimmed are kind of died off a little bit. But it is more or less the home you remember. It just feels different.
I think I will kind of take a deep breath and just make myself get out of the car and walk up the small sidewalk to the front door. I still have the old house key, as we all have house keys from wherever we've always lived. I've got my small weekend bag kind of just on the ground beside me, and I will open the front door, but I've not quite decided to enter yet.
You open the front door. And it's weird. As dark and as still as it was from the outside, the lights are on inside. And it's well kept. And it's clean. And you see a set of shoes off by the door. No shoes in the house. That was always the rule. And it's 4 different sets of shoes. Not just 2. 4.
I will walk in and set my things down on the end table that was always by the door to catch your keys and phones and hats. I'll drop my bag next to that table and head for the kitchen first, just to see if there's anything to make a drink. Don't know how long it's been, if I need to replace or start throwing things out immediately.
You turn the corner into the kitchen, and you're immediately hit by the smell of baking. Your father didn't bake, but you smell pie. It's kind of sharp and wrong in a way you can't put your finger on, but you smell it. And as you kind of look around the kitchen. There's your father, sitting there at the table, reading a stack of papers. There's your mother at the stove, cooking breakfast, oven on. And your sister you can see just out the window, outside playing in some leaves.
Being caught off guard by the scene, I would immediately think that I was hallucinating and that it was just a really long drive. And I'd probably turn around and enter another room of the house just to get my bearings, see if I could open a window. Kind of rub my head a little bit.
The second you turn to leave the kitchen, you hear your mother's voice. Amelia, where are you going?
I would have to turn back around.
Amelia, breakfast is almost ready.
I'm definitely too tired. I would probably make my way to the front door and decide that it was a hotel or a motel that I needed to sleep in for the night. I can stay in the house.
You gotta walk out the front door and it's missing. There's just a solid blank wall where that door was just a minute ago. And you hear, Amelia, this is the last time. Come to breakfast.
I would probably go back to breakfast. At least to the kitchen door again. If the door is gone, might as well see what happens.
You get back to the kitchen just as your sister is wandering back inside from being out. She sits down at the table. It feels like a memory, but it's also not. Like this exact thing never happened before. But it kind of feels like it could have. And your mom turns to you, gestures to the table. Sit down. Milk or juice?
Can I walk to the back door since I can see my sister out the window?
You can walk to the back door.
Will it open?
It does not open.
What if I go to the fridge and try to get my own drink instead of allowing her to pour one?
She won't stop you. Is that what you'd like to do?
See the state of the food and stuff in the fridge.
You open the fridge, and there's milk cartons, juice cartons, egg cartons, what you would expect to see.
Is that smell still, is it getting stronger or is it the same?
It's the same. I'm actually going to have you roll for something really quick. I'm only going to roll one die, so you're welcome to only do your discipline. Or you can add an exhaustion if you'd like. All right, 0. Let's see what I get.
Three.
Come on, everything seems fine in that fridge. Exactly what you expect.
I'm gonna leave the kitchen again. It's still just, it's unsettling.
Okay. The second you wander away, you hear your mom's voice once again, Amelia. And after a moment, you hear kind of the rustle of papers being thrown onto the table. And you hear your dad's voice. Amelia, listen to your mother. Get back here right now. Don't be rude.
That voice would have always stopped me in my track, even after so many years. Instinct and past training would have turned me back around. But I think I'm just gonna stay in the doorway. I'm not hungry. It's been a long day. I think I'd like to just go upstairs.
So you kind of hover in the hallway, in the door of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay. You can kind of see your mother serving breakfast. Pancakes, eggs, but everything's really shiny. It feels off. It seems off. And it makes the wrong noise when she lays them out on plates. And if you look across to your father, as he sort of glares at you, because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be sitting down to breakfast with them. As he meets your gaze, you notice he wasn't reading the newspaper. He just had a handful of pages that are now strewn across the entire table.
At his voice, even with the stubbornness of standing in the doorway, I'd probably sit down at the table and just kind of sit there. I wouldn't touch anything in front of me. I would try to get a look at the papers on the table.
When you sit down, you kind of get a better look. And your mom was always a pretty good cook. She wasn't Michelin star, but she fed you, and she fed you well. You never went hungry, never unhappy. This food looks perfect. Too perfect. Pancakes, sunny side up eggs, everything with this weird sheen across it. And as you're sort of studying that, you look across at the papers, and they're missing posters. You see your sister's face on the paper.
You threw me a hot
Even as she sits across from you.
Love you.
You see 6 other faces over and over, just in a pile on the table.
I'm gonna reach across to the missing posters and accidentally knock something off of the table, some of the food.
When you do that, the plate clatters to the ground, and the food just kind of bounces off. Completely intact, just skims across the floor. And nobody really seems to react to it. Also, nobody seems to be eating.
I'll get up to pick the food and stuff up off the floor and rewrite it. Am I able to open the window in the kitchen?
When you touch the food, you know immediately that's plastic. And as you cross to the window, like a full-size window, it's kind of like a day window.
Yeah, standard kitchen day window, 3-pane.
Okay. You notice it doesn't have a lock, like it always had a lock. But if you try to open it, it will open.
Yeah,
As your father calls out behind you, where are you going?
I'm gonna ignore him, and I'm just going to exit said window.
And as soon as you slither out of that window, you're plunged into darkness. And everyone's together now in darkness. It doesn't seem like you hit the ground when you land in the void. You just kind of become there. You can feel the ground underneath you, but there's barely enough light to see your hand directly in front of your face.
Go with my phone.
Yes, what's up?
Are we aware of each other, or are we simply all in our own little cocoon of darkness at the moment? Or do we realize that other people are there?
Well, you are in the same space, so if someone says something, then you can hear them.
Oh,
Hello?
From my
Oh,
phone.
For fuck's sake.
Oh, hi there.
Who said that?
Oh,
Who said that?
Oh, this is new.
Turn the light on my phone.
Definitely too tired.
yeah.
Hi, friends. I like to imagine Lewis like turns on his phone and is just,
Jasper's just there. Oh, hello.
You turn on your phone.
Step back.
You all still have your phones.
no, I don't.
If you had them before, you have them now. You still have your gum,
Yay.
if that's what you'd like.
Well, except for the fact it's cinnamon.
I'll turn
You
the
have the flashlight
on my
button, so you
phone,
can turn
too.
the flashlight on. But otherwise, all the apps you used to have are gone. There's just a little call icon, like a little text icon, like a voicemail icon on like this yellow background. Those
Wow.
are the only options you have.
Flashlights got
But as you
weird.
turn the light on, you are in a small room. Dark wooden walls, dark wooden floor, dark wooden ceiling. Maybe a foot, 2 feet above your head if you're shorter. It's slightly more than enough space for the both of you. You look over. If everyone wants to roll just some discipline for me, I'm only gonna roll one as well.
Do I keep my exhaustion?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, look, I actually got something.
Hell yeah.
Yes. All right, so Jasper, Amelia, and Lewis. The first thing you would probably see is that off in a corner there is a full man body, kind of curled up like he was dropped there. And because you all succeeded, you would notice, just based on the hair color, the tattoos. Is that Marcus?
Called it. I called it. I'm so smart.
Besides that, in this tiny room, there are two sort of doll-looking figures. One is a girl with long, scraggly hair, porcelain, shiny face, sort of haphazardly leaned up against the wall. The other looks to be like a plastic transformer toy, but he's just got a human head, plastic hair, painted on glasses. And then there's like maybe one of those mechanical dogs. It has the kind of rough, shaggy fur on it, just sort of tipped over, mouth open, off in a corner as well.
Oh, Marcus, what did you do?
This is like visiting my grandmother's house.
Sir?
Is he breathing?
He's breathing.
Okay.
Normally or too fast?
Normally, as far as you know.
Okay.
Shh. He's sleeping.
So by the light of our phones, we can all reasonably see each other and boundaries of the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amelia thinks she recognizes Lewis. It's been so many years, though, and people's faces and body structures change. She's fairly certain that she recognizes him, but she's not 100% in this light.
Just scanning the room, seeing who else is in here. Because we got smiley face over there, somebody else with a phone, and
Every time your light crosses a face, just
just smiling. Amy?
Lewis?
Good to see you. Why are we here? Are we
That's
dead?
a really good question.
Where is here?
the sleepy place.
Dark, obviously.
The what now?
I mean, sleepy place.
The sleepy place.
Are we asleep?
Refresh my memory. I'm sorry. What was your name again?
Oh, I'm Jasper. Jasper Collins.
Hi, Jasper. I'm Sebastian, but most people call me Trip.
'Cause you fell.
Well, that and I'm the third, so Trip. Yeah.
Okay, 3.
Clever.
Getting called worse.
Lewis.
Okay.
Amelia, Amy by friends.
I'll make it worse.
Hi, Amy. It's nice to meet
Amelia.
Jasper, have you
Here.
been here before? Jasper, have you been here before?
Uh-huh. Haven't you guys?
When?
Oh, like all the time.
Can't say I can't say I've been here, although that doll over there reminds me of my grandmother's house, something fierce.
I thought it was the wooden walls.
How long have you been here?
Oh, I just got here. This time.
Oh,
How many times have you been here?
Enough.
How do you get out of here?
agree with that.
It depends. Sometimes, sometimes, Jonathan, shakes me awake because it's time to wake up. Sometimes I just wake up. Other times I defeat the sleepy person. And then that usually will put us back to where we come from.
The sleepy person?
Uh-huh.
You mean, and I point to the body that we assume is Marcus.
No, that's Marcus.
You mean him?
No, that's Marcus.
Oh. Wasn't he reported missing?
Uh-huh. I called the police to tell them he was in the sleepy place.
I'm gonna go shake Marcus.
Jasper will try to stop her because he is sleeping, and that is rude. And the player's not here.
Everybody be cool. Everybody just...
All
Are
right.
you gonna try again?
No.
You gotta let him sleep. He's gonna need
Lewis,
his
how
rest.
did you get here?
Something horrible and horrific was happening, and he fell into a black void.
Exactly. How do you know?
Not my first time.
That seems painfully obvious.
That happened to me too.
Well, duh, you're here
Same.
too.
So, are we asleep, or is this a different place and we're awake?
Yes.
That is not an answer.
Did
But-
anybody else see that answer coming?
But it's both.
It's an answer, and I don't like it.
Listen, it's okay. You have your new friend Jasper with you.
Okay, fair enough. Seems to me around here we need all the friends we can get. So we have to wake up
Uh-huh.
to get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. I turn to Lewis. I'm sorry about this in advance.
That
and I
won't
slap
work.
him.
Like, not quick enough to stop you, but we'll call out as the hand is missing. He's like, that won't work.
Trip, you got 0 more times to do that.
It
Honestly,
definitely hurt. Like it wasn't dulled. Like you maybe been slapped before. It felt exactly right.
And that don't work. It hurts, but it don't work.
One of those deep southern slaps made with love, homegrown.
I'm gonna slap him back, and I'm gonna turn to look
I
at
don't think
the...
this is gonna help.
As your mid swing is like, that won't work either.
Oh, yeah, I assumed.
We have a
damn.
care for character, Lewis.
For character, okay.
By the
Spelled different.
way, chef, I'm gonna out of character refer to you as chef, and that's how we're gonna get over this Lewis chef thing.
It's like when they were doing Lewis dot structures in chemistry class.
Okay.
It still freaked me out every time.
That's fine.
For
But I get what you're saying.
for this game, cares are going to be hope coins, so I'm adding a hope coin to the pool for the players.
Yay!
But we'll see if I can think of something special for
did-
Lewis. As
I did
requested.
have a question. I have a question about that one, about the coins. If a care is redeemed for a specific player, does that mean that all the coins are still going into a specific pot, or does that mean that the player has a coin that only they can play?
The way this works, the hope coins are a group resource.
Okay, I will turn off specifics in the future. Well, at least specific care.
I mean, unless people want to give me a care, and then I get a coin.
Nice try.
Mommy, no.
I think
Love
you have
you.
enough.
Love you, but nah. Because you're going to throw them coins at us.
You got one. It's fine.
I've just got this feeling of
So
I'll
what?
tell you later.
What nightmares did you guys have?
Amelia, were you gonna say something?
Okay, I'll start. I was in a general store back home, and then I opened the door to go out, and I was back in my hallway, and Jonathan was coming down the hallway, but Jonathan wasn't Jonathan. He was like Pinocchio, but he had strings, but they didn't hold him down, they were holding him up. And then I turned back around and it was just more hallway. That was weird. And then there was so many Jonathans, and they all led me back to my room. And I was looking at my charts because that's my personal info, so I'm allowed to look at that. And like the first page was, all my general stats, but then after that was all the missing kids from forever ago. And then they shoved me back into my room and I was in the darkness. 3, you go next. We're sharing. Group therapy says that if we all share together, it'll strengthen a bond between us.
You in the hospital?
Oh my
I don't
god,
think
my
insurance
therapist was
covers
right.
that.
I got home from a rather pathetic date. It turned out that I'm fairly sure my house was made of candy and melting. And every book in my library had been filled with those missing kid posters.
Did you eat your way out?
No, I ran through the front door.
Oh.
Because I didn't know who had been there, but I do know I hadn't vacuumed enough recently to want to put that in my mouth.
Well,
Clean the house, man.
Dude, would you... I walked in there after I got out, after I walked off the street, man. I don't want to put that in my mouth.
Don't eat the
Even
floor.
If I just take my shoes off.
You could have eaten the wall. You didn't have to eat the floor unless you're walking on the wall. Can you walk on walls? Is that you're crazy?
What now?
You're crazy.
I'm fairly certain I've gone crazy, but no, I don't. I try to walk on the wall. I'm pretty sure I fall down.
So you get 1 foot up, knee height, and shift to try to hop up, and you don't quite land on your back, but you stumble real hard and fall on your butt.
So no, it appears I cannot walk on the wall.
Okay, Sebastian, from right there on the floor next to you, you'll hear Jasper's voice. It's like, "Oh, we'll figure it out eventually, buddy." But Jasper's still standing right where he is.
Are you using your power?
I'm using my power.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to roll for it really quick just to see the effect it actually has.
Okay, what do I roll?
That is not too hard. You're gonna roll your normal pool. I'll say we'll do +2 temporary madness.
So it says extra madness?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 2.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna roll 2 dice as well. You already beat me. But let's see. Discipline dominates. So yeah, from by your feet somewhere you hear Jasper's voice loud and clear.
No, he fell on the ground after falling on the wall. So it's right next to his head. It's like Jasper's
right
here.
Are you a ventriloquist?
No. What's a ventriloquist?
And how did a person who makes it look like someone else is talking when they aren't?
Oh no, that's my crazy.
Can you throw?
He's throwing.
You can throw your voice.
Sure, we'll go with that. That'll be easier for you guys to understand.
Yeah, that's a lot easier for me to understand than whatever the hell might actually else be in there.
Don't worry.
No.
You guys all have cool crazy too. We just don't know what it is yet. Or do we? And you're lying. Who knows? I'm excited either way for my new friends.
We're not aware of our abilities yet, are we?
I'm gonna leave that up to you. You can be if you'd like. This is definitely the first time you've ever found yourself in another place before.
Yeah.
But you have a history of being very tired. Yes, ma'am.
All while Jasper and Trip are having their moment. Can I take a closer look or a more inquisitive look at the 3 odd other occupants of the room.
The toys.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Is there like something in particular you're looking for, or are you just giving them a once over?
A once over.
Okay. So the porcelain doll is kind of slumped. You know what? Hold on, let me see if I can switch the picture.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Good
Can I
job.
do something?
Hold on. Let me,
Did that do
yep,
something?
that did it. That did it.
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
Jesus.
Oh.
No, that is like straight out of my grandmother's house.
That is right out of my
Putting the
granny's house
window over
across
that.
the top of the stairs.
Not looking directly at that anymore.
That's-
Upstairs at night.
Let me
This is actually.
let me get that reframed up in stream for everybody.
Let me not look at the stream for a second.
Minus the blood. I swear to God, I think that actual doll is in my grandmother's house, or was before she passed. But
I'm glad you said minus the blood. That would be really weird.
I'm fairly certain my grandmother had something similar.
yeah, my
So, yeah.
grandmother used to love making the clothes for them.
So
Creepy
did
as
mine.
Fuck.
She had a collection of porcelains at the top of the stairs in her house so that the grandchildren would not go downstairs after dark.
It must be really cool that you guys all got to visit your grandparents.
So you're looking at the 3 of them. The porcelain doll is exactly as you would expect. All of these figures down here seem like they've been here a while. Tattered hair, tattered clothes. It's not blood. Once you kind of get a look, you're a well-educated woman. You know that blood dries dark. But it is something red on her porcelain face. Kind of clutched under one of her hands is like a tiny, tattered teddy bear. Missing an eye. It's seen better days, maybe run through the wash half a dozen times. No shoes. PJs. And her
Where-
eyes are closed.
Players get another care.
Oh.
Oh no.
She redeemed random, so I did.
It's
You would
over
be
for
you would
Jen.
be odds. We would be evens.
Heck yeah, so it'd be. That doesn't carry over, that's okay. You guys are at 2 hope coins now. Perfect. Which figure do you want to move to next?
The Transformer.
Oh no.
Okay. Transformer also kind of sitting down against the walls, but his legs don't really bend like, they normally would. They're just straight pieces of plastic. He bends at like the shoulders and at the hips and at the neck. Body is kind of like an approximation of Optimus Prime. But the head is just a normal, like a boy's head. Glasses painted on, waves of hair painted onto the plastic.
Ew, it's Rodimus.
Yes.
What were the apps on our phones still that we were able to keep?
You had a little phone icon, you had a little text icon, you had a little voicemail icon, and then the flashlight. Yes, Chef.
Human boy or doll boy?
I mean, it's like a doll head. Like, it's just like plastic.
Okay.
It's a plastic head.
Do you have a picture for it?
That one I don't have a picture for.
Okay. I was
This is
terrified.
horror.
I'd never see it.
And,
It's all
and
good.
there are no camera apps on the phones.
No camera apps.
And you said the last one was like a dog.
Like our little robot dog. Yep. It was maybe at one time kind of like an approximation of a golden retriever. Probably like shin height. It's not a tiny toy, but it's not huge. The fur's been worn off in places, so you can kind of see the the mechanics underneath of it.
Hey, Lewis, why don't you come look at this one? Your robots were your thing.
So it kind of are. The whole time this has been going on, he's been just walking around with his phone, trying to feel for walls, trying to see if there's like a door or anything. But when Amelia tells him to come over and look at that, he's gonna carefully head over there.
Hey, new friend.
Have you been?
New friend, can I borrow that light real quick?
As you wander around, like running your hand across it, you kind of flinch because you pick up a splinter. It's not a big deal. You can pluck it right out.
Okay.
But these walls are just wooden slats. You can even make like a full pass all around the edges, and you don't come across a door.
I guess we fell in.
Look up.
Hand Jasper my phone for a second as I walk over to Amelia.
Same up above you. It is the same black dark wood the walls are made of as well.
Oh, looking
Would
at
we
myself.
recognize this as? Sorry, like, is this like a local wood that we would recognize, or is this like a wood we don't know?
I mean, can you justify knowing geographical wood
Yes.
species?
Can Sebastian
Well,
justify
probably.
knowing
Sebastian.
geographical woods
Bastion picks
species?
up talents. Or
Yes.
Okay,
That's,
pitch it to me.
that's one of my. Okay. I read a book on it once.
A book.
I have that book in my I've got that book in my library.
where's your library?
At home. I keep the books I read. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fine. I'll actually try to sell this one. One. It's seeing as how my brother was supposed to be perfect and honest and amazing in everything. Obviously, he would have been in the Scouts. Therefore, I also had to be in the Scouts. One of the many things they teach you is survival, orienteering, and local geography. Therefore, I would have at least have a basic knowledge of what is and isn't growing in the area, i.e., is this pine, oak, etc., etc., etc.
Okay.
I can roll for it if you'd like.
I'm going to suggest that you perhaps use your exhaustion talent for this.
Okay.
The only question is, do you want to use it in the minor way, where your exhaustion, which I believe is currently at 0, is the minimum number of successes, or do you want to voluntarily increase it by 1 to use the major feature, which will add that 1 to whatever successes you get?
This to me feels like a minor thing. It's like, would I this is like, do I recognize this as being something we'd be likely to find around where we are, versus is this like some place with a wood we don't recognize, indicating that we are far from home? This is a
Okay.
this is a minor thing to my mind.
Because it's so specific and it's dark, so there's not a ton of clues here. I'm gonna roll 3 dice. So if you're rolling 3 dice, we got an equal split here.
Okay, so I'd be rolling.
Just roll what you got, your discipline. Because you're not adding an exhaustion unless you just want to add 1 for more dice.
Sure, why not?
Okay. If you're going to add an exhaustion, then we might as well just do the major use, because that's how you trigger it.
Oh.
So no matter
okay, well,
what
then
you
let's do
roll,
major use.
you will add 1 success to it.
Okay.
Cool.
computer. Why are you being weird?
Awesome. All right, so you got 2.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the 1 from the major use.
Uh-huh. I got 1. And discipline has the highest weight, so you're not really sure. It's actually not the way it looks or feels, because it looks like it at some point it might have been painted, but if it was, it's kind of corroded and worn away by now. It's actually the smell that gives you the best clue as you kind of run your hand across it.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to guess, it's probably cedar.
Hmm.
Can you eat your way through this wall?
Not that I know of, and I don't really feel like I want to try.
I mean, if you had tried eating the candy, well,
This
you
wall-
probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah. But at the time, I thought somebody had drugged me because I just came back from a disappointing date and thought somebody had slipped me something.
Do all of your dates end in being drugged?
Some people
This is the
would
first
count,
one I've
some
had in
people
about
would
9
count
months.
that as a good
so... Yes, but those people also normally go home with another individual besides themselves.
free candy.
But what if it wasn't actually candy?
But what if it was? You're striking me as a half-empty kind of guy, Sebastian. Let me fill that other half for you.
I've already had one failed date tonight, but thank you for the offer.
I'm gonna scoot Amelia just like a step
Well-
away from Jasper.
Well, with that attitude, I can see why.
So can I, honestly.
Anything interesting about this robot?
Let's look.
Kelly's just like, can we please get back and try to get out of here, please?
Just like, I don't want to be stuck in this room with you anymore.
I get that a lot.
Anything interesting about the robot? Do you actually like pick it up, or are you just staring at it on the ground?
I've not touched it yet.
Okay.
Touch it. So come check out this dog or check out this robot.
Okay. You literally just poke it, or do you pick it up?
I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna poke it to see, like, try to gauge like how heavy it is to see if I can like knock it over. And if it doesn't seem like I could just like feather touch it over, I'm gonna see if I can pick it up.
Okay.
Hold a
You
light
pick it up.
steady for him.
Like I said, some of the fur seems to have worn away. You're not really sure if it's just because it broke down over time or it kind of got rubbed away by someone petting it. But you can see sort of like the mechanisms underneath, like the metal frame, some little fluffs of stuffing kind of around the edges. And the power switch right there on its belly.
Flick, flick, flick.
Oh,
See
no.
if it finds on.
It makes kind of like a creaky noise. It clearly hadn't been turned on in quite some time, but after a second, it whirs, and then its tail starts to quiver.
I'm going to cover the light on the phone because I don't know how to turn it off because I've never operated this weird device before. And I'm just gonna step back into shadows as much as I can.
As it's
I
the
turn
gears
and
and stuff
look.
is clicking, we're investigating. We're inspecting this thing proper.
Jasper's just like, no, thank
But
you.
it was like shin height.
Yep, tail starts to flick. Like you can see like one of the eyes is stuck, so it's just staring at you as you stare back at it, while the other is kind of like flipping off to the side, flipping back to you, off to the side, back to you. The more you handle it, it's probably just like oil or something, but something kind of slick and gooey starts kind of seeping out of one of the seams onto your hands.
Yeah, gross. Wipe my hand on my jeans. Still inspecting. Trying to figure out why some things are moving and some things aren't.
Do you see any markings? Like made in or like symbols on the
battery
gears or
cover.
anything?
Do I see any sort of power source for this type of thing? Like, is it wind up or is it battery or what? Because I just hit a switch and it turned on.
It has a battery hatch, kind of
Does have
hidden
batteries.
along the
Check that.
belly fur.
Might just be corrosion on the batteries. That's an easy fix. Pop.
Empty.
I don't think we should be here, guys.
I look up to see
I
where Trip and Jasper are. Just to make sure everybody's still together.
Did anybody else have a light on, or was it only the one phone?
No, it was my phone, Lewis's phone, which Jasper has.
Okay.
I don't know if Trip turned his on.
Okay. So you can
I'm
still
sorry,
kind of
you guys
see.
just-
I mean, this room isn't big enough for you to fully like sink into shadows, Jasper.
Okay.
So if they pan a light around, they'll
Oh
find
yeah, I was
you.
expecting them to find me. It's just more like,
Yeah.
And yeah, mine.
but Amelia, you would notice that Jasper moved as far
I'm
away
sorry,
as
you guys froze
possible.
up for a second. Question
Ja-
asked if my light was on.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, it was.
Jasper moved as far away as he could, and he covered the light. And for the first time since we've all come together, has just grown as quiet as possible when Lewis starts messing with things. Just so you know what you see now that you're paying attention to me.
On your
And as you're
mini-
looking around,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. You're fine.
I was
What were you
gonna
gonna say?
ask Jasper on his many trips here if he's ever messed with anything in the room with him.
I mean, that's one way to look at it. Sometimes they really like messing with you. I try not to touch things if I can help it.
As though prompted, all of a sudden there's a loud thunk
See?
from somewhere deep inside of that toy, and its head whips around and tries to bite onto Lewis's shoulder.
And Jasper, with absolutely like no care, concerns, like, see?
Hold up.
I would have dropped my phone at that point. I've got to find it.
I pan around trying to see the other toys.
The other toys are still. The teeth are dull, but man, they pinch.
That. Yeah. Ooh, okay. This might be a good time to learn something about ourselves.
Once they're chomped down, like it doesn't let go. Kind of starts to do that like doggy, raggedy and head shake. Mouth
The
full
rip it
closed.
free shake.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
I'm
Trying
gonna
to pull it off.
I'm gonna call it lockjaw.
Good old strong.
Are you just mundane trying to pull it off, or you want to use something in particular?
I'm gonna go for my pocket knife if my pocket knife is still on me. We're gonna try to.
Just pry it off.
We're gonna attempt to pry it off.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll for it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to? You can add a permanent exhaustion, or you can add some temporary madness if you want to increase your chances of succeeding. I will be rolling 2 dice.
We're gonna try regular just now. We're not gonna add any more dice until we have to.
Okay.
I looked at the doll again.
Got him.
Got him.
I moved my Discord window with you guys' faces to block the doll, and I had to click underneath it to roll the dice. It was you're playing all the whole time, wasn't it, Jen?
Haha. All right. So
Power made already.
I got none, but pain does dominate, so I get to add a despair coin for myself.
No.
Look at that, I got myself a present.
No.
So you succeed. You wrench it free, but as it pulls free, it like rips into your flesh, leaving you with like, not exactly, it doesn't break the skin, but you end up with like this huge bruise. Your clothes a little bit torn, shoulder aching. You do manage to pry it off of yourself. Over the face?
Please stop doing that. We have viewers watching. They need to see the horror.
Yeah.
Whoever keeps moving.
Look at it. I mean.
So do you just pry it off, or do you like try to put it down or something?
Well, there was one hand with the knife, and there's another hand to push. So I guess it's loose on the ground, and we're gonna. If it moves again, we're going for a stab.
Kind of clatters
Turn
to
it
the
off.
ground onto its side, feet flipping in the air. Each time it kind of pops up, like maybe if it gets lucky, it'll pop up to its feet.
Nope.
Jaw still clicking, open and shut.
Step on it.
Try to get you in the thing. Just clap.
Turn the power switch off.
It doesn't even have a power source. I don't think that's gonna do too much.
Turn on the other two.
Absolutely not.
Flips up onto its feet. Starts to charge it
not
back at
again.
Lewis. Jaws a chomping.
Stays so
Mm.
blood.
Go for a kick.
Okay.
Gonna knock it back over.
Okay. 2 again.
Use your
So you
crazy.
can roll
Use your crazy.
however many you want. Ah, perfect. I'm still gonna roll to see how this. Okay. All right. You win again, but again, and pain dominates. So another gifty for me. When you
I'm only making it stronger.
go to kick it, it feels like kicking a cement block. Like there's no way it should hurt that bad as you kick it, but pain radiates up the top of your foot, up your shin, into your knee. It just throbs. It does get knocked back several feet, kind of like skidding on the ground, making this weird, like dull scraping noise. But you do kick it far enough away, and it topples back over onto its side.
I'm gonna run up on it and see if I can take my knife and take it apart somehow, see if there's any sort of screws or whatever is in there, but I ain't doing this again.
Do you want to use your exhaustion talent?
I do.
Do you want to use it in the minor capacity, which is free? You just have, since you have 1 exhaustion, it would be a minimum of 1 success. Or do you want to add an exhaustion to use the major use of it, where it will add your exhaustion to your successes?
We can go for that major.
Heck yeah. So add 1 permanent exhaustion. and get to rolling.
Look at it again. That too.
+1.
Okay.
Oh, plus
Yeah.
1. Okay.
Perfect. And discipline dominates. So as you kind of like descend upon it with your pocket tools, you see kind of a cluster of wires running up through its belly from like head to tail. And you reach down in there with like a screwdriver and basically just pry the whole cluster of wires separate. And immediately the head goes silent, falls forward, tail stops wagging, feet stop twitching. But weirdly, like, the eyes still try to follow you.
Can I use my exhaustion talent?
Sure, how are you thinking?
In all the things that I have read or studied throughout, just special interest, doctorate, anything like that, have any witness testimonies or whatever ever sounded similar to our situation?
Okay. Do you want to use the minor use? Where you don't have exhaustion right now, so that wouldn't really help you? Or do you want to use the major use where you add an exhaustion and you'll have at least that 1 to add on to however many you have?
We'll just add the 1.
The major, okay. So add 1 to your permanent exhaustion. And then I'm gonna roll 2 dice because it's a little bit obscure.
Okay.
The best things always are.
All right, so you got 2. I've got 1.
Hey.
Pain again. Okay. We'll see if I remember to use the spare points.
Oh, dang it.
All right.
Point.
So as you're kind of standing there racking your brain, trying to think of anything that might help you with this, you remember one class that you took maybe a couple of years ago? It was an interesting class. It wasn't very science-based, but it was about it was about the mythology and lore of sleep, of nightmares, of dreams. And you remember listening to this video. It was a very short video, only a few minutes long, just part of a bigger piece of work. Interviews of people who had experiences in their dreams that they swore weren't really dreams, but that changed them permanently. And as you remember this, you just remember the terror in her voice, how bad you felt for her, how you could kind of identify with the way it affected her. Because you've had very real dreams before, but this woman, no, she thought she was wide awake. And as she told you these tales about being chased through the streets by a man with a clock spear, as she told you how it felt to be stabbed by it, this bizarre man chasing her through bizarre streets, and how nobody believed her. You know that it's definitely possible that you're not actually asleep. That maybe waking up is not a solution to this problem.
Jasper, when you weren't woken up by Jonathan and you weren't attacked by the sleepy monster,
The sleepy people.
how did you, sleepy people, was there another way out?
Nope. Don't worry. Eventually, always a sleepy person comes.
What do these sleepy persons look like?
Oh, they look like all kinds of different people. It's not just like one thing or one person, one entity. It's an entire like city, like civilization. Some of them look normal. Some of them don't.
Do they try to talk,
No.
or do they?
They want to get out too, and they go out through us.
There wasn't a way out up,
That's what he's
and there were
doing.
no doors around. Is there anything distinctive on the floor?
Nope. Floor is made of the exact same wood as the walls and as the ceiling.
Anyways, my new friend Lewis. I see that you got Lockjaw there, a little bit undone. There was definitely like a clinking sound inside of him before he sprung to life and bit you. It's like, can you check inside of him to see whatever it was that came loose? Maybe that'll be something.
Yeah, that's after he got those lines taken apart. He's been just kind of salvaging anything that might be useful, like these wires. Copper wire is always useful, but just
Okay.
gears, just taking this thing apart and just setting it.
Okay. As you're kind of disassembling it,
That's
and
okay.
thank Phil for this one, just by the way, because this is your care.
Right.
You find in there a screw. It's far too big to have been originally part.
Oh hey, a random hurt has been distributed.
Cool. Cool.
Y'all angered Ashley.
I done got a splinter. I got bit by a robot dog.
You kicked a cement block.
Yeah.
All right.
I normally wear steel-toe boots, but I'm not gonna fight that one on that one. We're gonna go keep my list of injuries going.
All right, let's see. Okay. Get it. All right. Like I was saying, Chef, are you coming back?
I don't think he's actually.
He said his computer crashed.
There we go.
Sorry about that. My
It's all
computer
good.
decided to eat itself.
Okay.
All good.
As you rummage around in the innards of this mechanical dog that you've powered down, but those eyes are still flicking around, and that slick goo all over your hands. But you find a screw that is far too big to have gone into anything in this room. It's maybe that big. Like it was the entire length of the mechanical dog. But there is nothing in this room that you can see that screw would have been inside of.
That don't belong.
I bet it goes in one of the dolls like a crank.
You messing with me?
No,
You know what's going on here?
no.
Jasper, where are you right now?
Tucked into a corner still as far away as I could get, that the light thing still pressed into my chest.
Okay. As you kind of sink deeper into that corner, the rough wood gives way as another much larger splinter sinks into your elbow.
Ah, biscuits.
Thanks, Beals.
I'm not two.
You're two to me.
In what way am I two?
Oh.
Okay, fine. What large splinter, but you said the corner gives way?
The wood kind of splinters off,
Oh.
jabs you in the elbow.
Oh.
That kind of creaks. You're pressing there real tight.
Is that hollow behind there?
Everything's hollow if you try hard enough.
Okay, but is the wall behind you, like, does it sound hollow? Like maybe there's a hidden door or something?
I don't know, I didn't knock.
Could you
Ja-
please?
You can? And Jasper will move out of Trip's way.
Okay. I
You just knock on it?
Mm-hmm.
You knock right where Jasper was standing.
Right.
And it sounds like, I mean, knocking on wood, the old joke. Knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not insulated behind there. You can kind of feel the vibrations as you do it, but you can't really tell like what's back there.
But there's not like an obvious hollow sound or anything.
You have nothing to compare it to. It's the only place you've knocked.
Bam, chef. In your face.
Explore the danger wall with your flesh.
I've got a feeling I missed quite a bit while my computer crashed.
Nope, we
Okay.
paused.
No, we paused.
Oh.
You haven't missed
Oh.
anything.
Oh, thank you then. So
Or have you?
I'll never know.
Find out when you rewatch on YouTube.
Okay. I knock on another wall, just like close by.
It sounds pretty much the same.
Okay.
I'm further down the wall. How about I knock two?
Sure.
You can knock. Seems the same.
I'm gonna knock on the floor.
Now that sounds like there's something beneath it. It's a duller, quieter noise.
That makes sense. Can't just be floating in space, can we? Like any more than we already are on the planet or whatever,
I mean,
blah, blah, blah.
as above, so below. There's empty space above us. Makes sense. There's empty space below us.
Amelia, I'm going to suggest that you use your exhaustion talent again. As you kind of stand there, everybody's knocking,
I'm not
separate
knocking.
corners. Okay. Everybody's knocking.
So I'm not knocking.
Separate corners.
You want to be cool, don't you, Jasper?
You don't have to do the major if you don't want to. You can just do the minor, which doesn't increase anything. I'm actually just looking for like one success. So. Oh, heck yeah.
3.
Heck yeah. Awesome. So as you're standing there, sort of in the center of it all, wrapping your knuckles against this wood wall, you kind of tap, and then Lewis taps on the floor, and then Sebastian taps on the wall. You tap again. You tap a few more times down the wall, and you realize that the sound is the same the entire way. Even if this building is old, somewhere there should be like a stud, some kind of construction holding up the structure, but there's not. It sounds exactly the same as you go down the wall.
Well, that's possible. There would have to be studs.
Anything's possible here, Amy.
Amelia.
You said your friends call you Amy.
Lewis calls me.
No, you said friends call you Amy.
And he's the only friend in here. Oh.
The smile that Jasper's maintained this entire time just... Oh.
What did
Okay.
I do?
I haven't met you enough yet, so sorry. Books, though. Positive. Positive point.
I mean, Jasper's been
Creepy.
reasonable. Creepy, yeah.
But
Well, he
also,
hasn't actively
by
tried to do anything to hurt us.
but also by far the most knowledgeable of the area, it would seem.
Yeah.
Jasper, can I ask you a question?
No. Sits down
Okay.
next to Marcus.
That screw, Lewis. Can it pry up a floorboard?
Machined or self-tapping? Like, is it flat or is it pointy?
It's pointy.
We need something to push up against it, some sort of like fulcrum type deal, but it's a big screw.
Use the dog.
Hold up.
Eyes flicking around
Yeah.
on its side still.
Hey, Jasper, buddy.
Yes, Amelia's friend.
You said you've been here a bunch? At least a few times?
This specific room, no.
There are different rooms?
It's an entire city. It's a
I've never been here
civilization.
before.
Many people. You know what? I think Amelia's right. You're not my friends, because friends listen.
I'm trying to make a friend by getting interested in you, bud.
No, he has a point.
Well, then you don't be his friend. I'll be his friend.
No, I was going to apologize for not listening very well, because he's right. I haven't been very friendly. Jasper, I apologize for not paying enough attention.
That's fine, Trips.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
So that's fine, Trip.
Okay. So,
Jen, did you open your door back up? Okay. She's so loud.
so if this is a city,
Uh-huh.
Are we in somebody's apartment right now?
Apartment, shed, workroom, I'm guessing, based off of the dolls in disarray.
Okay.
Hence
So-
I bet the screw goes to one of them, but you know, that's fine. You guys don't listen.
But how do they get
Are
in
we-
if it's not a door?
Oh, I keep telling you, us here that come here or live here can use their crazy. One of those crazies might be being able to get in and out of places that
Who's
have
against
no
a
doors.
wall right now?
I mean, I guess technically,
You mean like
I guess technically I would be, since I'm sitting next to Marcus, who's in a heap in a corner.
Okay.
I'm within like distance of a wall. I don't know if I'm
Yeah,
against
tap
it though.
Yeah, tap distance.
Those directly against the wall would probably hear/feel it the strongest. But for a second, you hear like footsteps just outside of the walls. Not even normal footsteps. They're very slow and very heavy. If you're touching the walls, you can kind of feel the vibrations from it. But they seem to come closer, pause a moment, and then leave.
We're trespassers, aren't we?
Would seem that. But not on purpose. I didn't ask to be.
Well, take this screw, walk over towards them other dolls, not disturbing Marcus, because he's asleep and that's rude. Let's start with a transformer.
What you doing with the screw?
One hand holding the screw, other hand kind of turning the transformer, because I don't learn lessons.
The transformer and the porcelain doll are almost roughly not human sized, but they are large.
Like those weird 3-foot tall Barbie dolls.
Oh,
Yeah, kind of
Oh,
like
God.
those. So you kind of like
Oh, well.
tilt the transformer up, turn him side to side, look him up and down. There doesn't seem to be a place beside like his plastic grippy hand to put a screw.
Exhaust all options. Put the screw in the hand.
Nothing happens.
No, there's nothing. Take the screw back. Silent hilling my way through this over here by myself as people watch.
I
Oh,
go over to try to help him.
I'm just there holding the light.
inspect this porcelain doll. The most haunted of dolls.
It's kind of like one of those ones with like the stuffed bodies, but the porcelain limbs. So you pick it
Oh
up.
yeah.
It feels like heavier than you would expect
Okay.
for something that's mostly stuffed. But again, you don't see anywhere or anything to do with a screw.
I say excuse us as we start. Like looking around.
Like as you're kind of handling the doll, like at one point, her head kind of like lolls to the side and her eyes pop open. But nothing else happens.
I look at the bottom of her feet.
Pervert.
Looking for anything in particular.
A lot of the ones of these that I would have seen have like in the sole of the foot is where like a peg goes to help them stand up.
Stand up on a doll stand.
Gotcha.
So that's what I would be looking for, like a hole that maybe the screw could go in that.
She's got some socks on. Are you gonna take her socks off?
Do it, perv.
Sure.
All right. You kind of peel the sock off. It's like really stiff. Like it's been there a while, stiff and gritty. Kind of gives you a small case of the eggs. But you get it pulled off and it's smooth on the bottom. There's no hole.
Okay. I put the sock back on.
Pierce.
Well, I didn't do anything.
Can we feel a wind-up slot behind the under the dress in the back?
Nope, it's just like squishy. Where the stuffing is under her clothes.
Does it feel like stuffing?
It feels like stuffing.
Gonna carefully place it back down because it's porcelain that will just break.
I know Marcus is sleeping, and we are not going to touch Marcus. But does Marcus have anything visible to us around him that would be out of place in this room?
Directly around him, no. The way he's positioned on the floor. Are you going to move him?
Jasper, can we move him just to make sure he's not injured?
Why are you asking me? You can do what you want, Amelia.
Last time I went to touch him, you got very upset. That's why I'm asking now.
Well, clearly you don't care about upsetting people.
Can I gently put Marcus onto his back so he's not curled up on his side?
You can. And as you sort of gingerly roll him away from the wall he was up against, I think you might feel actually like a breeze.
Do I see an opening?
She does have
Where are you
flashlight.
looking?
I have the flashlight, yeah. So it would just be face towards the wall and the floor.
Toward the wall and the floor. Then it takes you a second and you actually have to like lean down. And in your mind's eye, you actually think maybe this was the position Marcus was in before he fell asleep. But as you kind of lean down and get close, where the wall and the floor join, there's just the slightest bit of separation. You feel cold air, like sort of snaking its way in. And you see the smallest sliver of light.
Guys, come here.
Stand
Jasper,
up. Get over.
you've never been in a room like this one, or in this one specifically. Where else in the city have you been? And what could we expect if we get there?
Then that's what we're gonna call it.
It is 11:45.
Because that was a lot of staring. And we're coming up on midnight. How's everyone feeling?
Good.
I'm in it.
I'm great. This is
Yeah,
awesome.
I've been chomped and beaten up a bit, so that's not fun. I'm already up 2 exhaustions. That was my choice,
What do you
but
get for having an interest in robots?
Excuse
Curiosity,
me for
man.
being curious about where we are and want to touch things.
Curiosity, bro.
Being delicious to robots. My bad.
You know what they say, Gar? Curiosity killed the cat.
Different game.
Dog.
Too soon.
No.
Still miss space game.
I am of course going to steal Matt's wrap up. And we're doing props. Yeah.
Tis yours to use, mommy.
You know what? Start us off, DM Daddy. Who did a good job? Who made you happy? Who made you night?
I mean, those are two very different things.
You can answer them all if you want.
Who made my night? I'm gonna give it to Chef. Cause Jesus Christ, you made me,
Seriously,
Pierce, chat, everyone depressed with your intro of Sebastian. It's like Jesus, like literally, chat was just like Jesus Christ. Just so
I was like, I'll take you out to dinner, bro. It's okay.
Seriously.
So who made my night
We'll all buy you dinner.
would be Chef, player of Sebastian, for sure, 100%.
Awesome. Pierce?
Oh, I'm gonna have to do both, and one of them is gonna be a two-way split. But you're telling the story, so it doesn't count for you. Who made my night? Absolutely, Jasper. Oh,
So creepy.
so creepy, and the way the room is just dark enough
Yeah.
that it's always just kind of lurking.
It's like I like to
Yeah,
like
no.
lead in close if I want you to see my face, but otherwise it's just a vague. Like you still kind of see
Yeah.
it, but it's just enough shadow.
Yep. And both Cricket and Jen, y'all are killing it. Jen, you're doing a great job. Cricket, you are right there in it. Keep it going. Doing great.
Heck yeah. All right, Chef. What you got?
Oh my god. I mean, compared to how I played in my first game, you're doing absolutely amazing.
Crushing it.
Killing it.
Yes.
I'm making all the mistakes. But don't piss off
Yes.
Jasper.
That's the best part of role playing.
But here's the fun part. You're having fun doing them, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's making the game more
This group
entertaining.
is Chaos.
Yeah,
Embrace
but
it.
making the mistakes often drives the story so much further. So I mean, you're doing great. Full props.
Oh yeah. All right, Cricket. What you got? Who made your night? Who gave you a little spot of fun? Whose creepy smile and direct eye contact would you like to call out in this moment in time?
The one that is still currently, is the way the screen is split right now, staring directly up and to the right at me. And it's just a perfect creepy character.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Isn't he
Trying
though?
to learn about you, but we'll learn about you more later.
So, see, what's great is that this is everybody's first experience with me as a player. Well, everybody in chat. Some of you have played with me before, but it was fun getting to be a character and not 20 characters. Getting to commit to the bit.
You're one focused. Supposed to everybody who walks past us and we flag down or yell at.
I mean, we have to admit, not everybody in a group can always be the safest when you have a slightly deranged person in your group.
Here's the
gotta be
thing.
one
Here's the
suspicious
thing.
person.
Here's the thing. Am I deranged? Things you need to keep in mind.
First episode, yes. Until we get to know you further. First
Or
impression.
no,
First
or
impression.
until we get to know the situation better and realize how logical this guy is.
Right?
It was like, oh, we
Or
thought
he's not
Jasper
actually
was
in flame.
crazy. Oh shit.
Yeah. Fully asked, why are you in the hospital? And it just didn't go anywhere.
Nope. No, you asked, am I in a hospital? And Jasper was just like,
That's a-
obviously not.
Not right now.
Not right now, obviously.
Why are you in a hospital?
Oh,
Yeah, we'll come back to it. It's fine. We got games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
we
5
do.
more.
yeah, we
And
do.
I'm done now. You can take over, DM Daddy.
Oh,
Get it.
guys, this was the first episode of Death's Door. Gen of Thieves, Degeneration X's first time running a tabletop role-playing game. And I dare say, she crushed it. If you agree with me, if you
100%.
feel like she crushed it, pop over to our Discord and let her know. Give her all the positive reinforcements to continue doing this, because damn, that was good. I had so much fun. Whether it was like me getting to play during my time, or listening to you mess with everybody else, and sitting there and putting us in a saw room, and like so on and so forth. It was great. It's like, just don't do the live or die. Make your choice, because I'm pretty positive I know what Sebastian will choose. Either way.
I got so dark.
Late stage 4 over here.
But yes,
I'm gonna.
yes, please do come over to our Discord. If you're not part of our YouTube, check us out over on YouTube. Every game that we've done is uploaded in its entirety over on YouTube. These guys will be coming out starting next week, because this is our premiere weekend of season 3. And yeah, and if you support and love what we're doing, make sure to check us out on the Patreons. For those of you that are watching this in the future on YouTube, all these things are down below in the About section. Click the links. Patreon is what we use to fund all this stuff. It's things for improving our Roll20, getting books, making merch, so on and so forth. By the way, Death's Door will be having its own particular brand of merch in the upcoming merch bundle. So please do make sure, if you want some sweet merch, you need to become a Patreon. We have more new games this weekend. We have Sabbat, Vampire the Masquerade Sabbat, 3rd edition, tomorrow at noon, where you will get to see me come back into Reigns in the big box, as well as Gen of Thieves and Core Hall, aka Sebastian, playing tomorrow along with many other people. And then of course we have a Hunter of the Reckoning campaign that begins on Sunday, 5 to 8 Eastern, where you will be able to see me back in the big box, and Pierce Powertough, player of Lewis, along with 4 other wonderful, happy people. It's gonna be a good time.
Oh my goodness, yes.
But I am DM Daddy RPG. Gen of Thieves was our
Check over right there.
DM for the evening. Lewis, played by Pierce Powertough. Amelia, portrayed by Miss Cricket. Sebastian, portrayed by Chef Corhall, Chef, whose real name is Lewis with an OU.
Thank you for caring.
I do care. And even though he's not here tonight, Marcus, portrayed by Luxor, who we have not seen since season 1 of our Scion campaigns. So it'll be nice to have him back. And I really, really am so excited to see
my
who's going to
God.
win the prize of Saddest Boy.
Sad off. Here it comes.
It's going to be great. So sad.
I'll bring myself a treat for next game. Lord.
Right? All right, so guys, we will
Give me
hopefully
some dust.
we will hopefully see you tomorrow at noon when we're streaming Sabbat. If not, hopefully we'll see you Sunday. If not, I hope you have a fantastic weekend either way. And we will see you next time we come around. Have a great weekend. Have a great night. And remember, Daddy and Mommy
And Mommy.
love you very much. Mama.
Oh no.
Oh God.